What's going on, guys? It's your boy S4 James again, back with another video. We're going to get into the 3 reasons why I don't like my B7 S4, and I'm sure a lot of guys can agree with me with this. Still a fun car. Mind you, this is reasons why I don't like it for what it is. Everybody's going to have different reasons, of course, but let's get into my first one. My first one is the number one that we all complain about when having these cars, and we know it's very pricey: the timing chain. This this part of the car, this whole setup in the car is behind the motor, which is 1. So you need to pull the motor to do this. 2, it is very expensive if you're not handy with tools or kind of like familiar with pulling like engines out and doing all that type of stuff. It can be very expensive. Actually, it is very expensive when you go to like a dealer or even like another mechanic. They all try to give you like the best price they can give you. It's a couple grand, you know? It's very expensive. So that's like a big turn off when people think about when they buy these cars and they see these cars. They're cool, but it's a very pricey maintenance fee you have to pay with that. Now, if you're in some of the Facebook groups that they have going around now, there's guys in there that have a kit. One of the guys has like a kit he sells you with everything needed for a timing chain replacement, with guides and everything. He upgrades the guides. Instead of you getting the plastic ones, you get the metal RS4 guides, which last a lot longer. So, and I'm not sure what this price is, but I'm pretty sure one of you guys in the comments can drop this guy's name. He's been doing it for a while, making these kits and everything, and you know, saving people a lot of money when it comes to these parts. Labor is still very expensive, but if you do it yourself, once you're in there, you're doing a bunch of other things anyway, so it starts to become a very pricey thing after a while. So that's my number one, like my first reason why I have a dislike for my car. All right, number 2, the oil consumption and leaks. But it wouldn't be Audi if it didn't leak, right? So some of you guys, these are older cars, they're old, you know, got mileage on them, all that type of stuff, consumes oil. But the thing about this 4.2 V8 motor, it takes about 9.5 quarts of oil to fill up. And you're like, figure out like, how is all my oil like disappearing? Well, that can be scored walls. You probably got scored walls, or your PCV failed. But I mean, if your PCV failed, you can just diagnose that and change that around and put a new one there, or you can just upgrade to a catch can. And I'll drop a parts of what I use for my own catch can, how my setup is, and of course I'll show you guys what it looks like in my car and how it's set up, of course. And if anything, I can get into a video on how it's done. Yeah, that's a big thing. It consumes a lot of oil. I mean, I'm probably carrying at least 1 quart or 2 quarts of oil with me just in case, you know. But I'm sure a lot of the V6 and V7 S4 owners do. But I'm just gonna keep it real with you. Like, you really do keep this stuff in the back of your car. Like, this is one thing you definitely keep. Everybody that makes some memes and jokes about it, it's a real thing. Like, we all probably keep at least 1 or 2 quarts back there. And if yours doesn't leak, props to you. I mean, for the rest of us, we stuck with it. Either that or we getting a whole new motor at the end of the day. That's how I look at it. All right, to elaborate on that tight space I was talking about with these cars. As you see, we're gonna go to mine right now, and I can also show you my catch can setup. Oh man. All right, so look at this. The tight space, you need tiny hands to get anywhere down here. And you see how we have to do the catch can setup over here too. Need the tiny hands for that, and it gets hot back there, of course. But yeah, very tight space, really tight space. Look at that. Look at that. I can fit my fingers down there, you know, like my fingers. But yeah, also about the catch can setup. I'll drop the link and everything of what I used to make my catch can setup versus you guys buying the ECS one. That works because it works the same way. Works completely, but yeah, that's what I mean by tight spaces. Oh, and then on top of that too, oh darn, timing chain all the way, you know, behind the motor and whatnot. You need to pull the motor out to do the whole thing, and that's a pain, you know, and that's a lot of labor costs when you got to do all these type of things. My last one, number 3, power steering. The power steering pump sits in a really tight location with everything else in that car. Everything is so tight in that car. You need really tiny hands to really get down and do anything, honestly. I mean, big hands work too, but you gotta do a little bit more work than us tiny hand people. But the power steering is in a really tight location, and it's next to a lot of hot things. A lot of hot things. So eventually that starts to cause leaks. And that stuff starts to leak everywhere. And that's really what it is. You either gonna be changing that or I don't know, figure it out. But yeah, it's really like a shitty location for it in my opinion. But hey, this is what Audi did. Yeah, I mean, these are only the things that I can think of that I dislike about the car. Other than that, I like the car for what it is. It sounds great. I'm not expecting much from a car that's like a good amount of years old, you know. Mine's is a '06, so I'm not going to expect like the greatest things of all times. I'm at 115,000 miles. Yes, my time of change have been done, people. Just before y'all go in the comments and start saying, "Oh, did you do your change yet?" Yes, my chains were done. But I don't really have too many complaints about it. I mean, you know, you have little odds and ends there, but those are like the main three ones because, like, you know, my power steering has went out a couple times and started having like leaks and all that. So I've had to replace my power steering probably like 2 times. Yeah, about 2 times. But it's the area it's in. It's in a really tight spot. But that's all I can really kind of like think about when it comes to like this car on dislikes because the likes on it, I have a bunch of likes on it. And in the next video, I got another video for you guys coming out for like the reason why I like my B7 S4. And if you guys can agree with me, you know, give me some comments, give me some feedback. Let me know like how you guys feel about these dislikes and likes. Do you think it's not a big problem or it is a small problem, all that type of stuff? You know, just let me know. Remember, hit the like and subscribe button, and of course, I'm coming back with more videos. Last month was like the first video I dropped in a while, but I'm gonna get to it with you guys. I'm trying to post a little bit more and stuff that you guys might want to see. I know you guys asked me about my exhaust setup, so I will have a video on that too because I too have the excess power downpipes and everything, and it was a weird way of getting them installed. But then my car was basically a straight pipe after that. But I put an X pipe in between to kind of cut it down a little bit, and you guys might like that tone. So we're gonna get into a couple more videos, you know, with everything going on. So remember, like and subscribe, guys.